at the rally, so we'll talk to some people. And this is the difference between, I think, Mickie Sherill's campaign and Jack's campaign. If you're trying to find events with Sherill, she just doesn't have any publicly listed. Jack is kind of everywhere, all across the state, easy to find an accessible event to get to hear him and hear what he has to say. The event is very well attended, so he has good enthusiasm. There's also protest outside, so we'll take a quick peek at that and then talk to some people inside. And I think, one of the reasons this election has gotten closer is there's a different enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, I think, is with Jack, despite, previous polls saying it's been further out. Now it's a closer gap. So I think one of the reasons, again, is as somebody with a YouTube, I could go to this event, I could talk to people, it's accessible. Sherill has no publicly accessible events. So anyway, we'll look at the protest and then we'll talk to some cool people inside and then we'll hear Jack speak. Do a little mix of everything. Hey, Becca, nice to have you. We're in Nutley, New Jersey, outside of Jack Ciatrelli Town Hall. We do have some protesters, so we will talk to them, and we'll talk to some supporters of Jack.
Hands up, Medicaid! Hands up, Medicaid! Hands up, Medicaid! Hands up, Medicaid!
He's got 1199, a very big union, very active.
Medicaid! Hands up! Medicaid! Hands up! Medicaid!
Good point, good point. I'm a fan of his as well, but good point. But you see there is a contingent, not that large. And then we'll talk to some people. See what's up. So yeah, there's a tightly controlled campaign. That's interesting. But, talking about Jack's answer, Medicaid, I guess, that's a big issue, but we'll talk to some people inside as well and see what's happening. Got 12 people so far, not too bad. I already made a friend inside.
How are you? From Nutley?
So there's a protest contingent, seeing what's happening. Yeah, an intimate town hall, which is nice. So how you doing?
All right.
Good. I came back.
I got a question for you.
Please.
I don't want my phone to go off those things. That's good, right?
Let's see. Tap it again just to make sure it's the right one. Yeah, it's the other one. You got it. Yep, perfect.
Yeah.
So you
know
should
what?
be good.
I have this phone. I got to replace it eventually.
Okay.
I'm going to beat the heck out of it because it reboots every 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
Can't use it.
Yeah. I use it until it's dead. Then I'm done with it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like the last little bit of life
Yeah,
out of it.
I'll just drill it dead because
there you go.
They made me pay a lot of money, so I might as well abuse it until it's done.
Yeah, why not?
It abused me. Now I'm using it back. Right?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So we're in New York.
I'm right in. I'm not too far out here. I'm in Hudson Valley, just north of Westchester.
Oh, no, I go
See, in
there.
Putnam County.
Well,
yeah.
I used to live over it for 5 years. New Rochelle.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
5
No
years.
worries.
Yeah.
Okay.
I came back just before COVID hit.
Oof. Interesting.
Yeah. I grew up here.
Okay. Do you think it was wise to move here versus New York in the middle of COVID?
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
It's a little more functional.
No doubt. I mean, even though I wasn't crazy about Murphy.
Sure.
New York.
There's difference between
Yeah.
Cuomo. Yeah. Big difference.
Yeah. And now he wants to come back now.
Yeah. So I've been covering that race a lot too.
And the scary thing is, I take him over that freaking.
Yeah,
that kind
sure.
of-
Nice radical.
The Marxist.
Yeah. Not too far from communism.
Yeah, he's right.
Not too far. So what brought you out here today? I guess you care about your state. You care about affordability.
Yeah. I was born and raised here.
Cool. Respect.
Yeah. So
You've seen it change, yeah.
yeah, I've been here. Well, except the 5 years in New York, I've been here 60 years.
Okay. Cool. God bless.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I love it here. It's my, Jersey's the best. Despite what they did to it.
What do you think's on the line if Mickie gets elected? Can you afford to stay?
I
afford
think.
business here?
Well, I can because my mom, I'll be owning her house.
Okay,
So I
smart
can
move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can afford to stay here, but I'm worried about the future.
Right.
I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about these kids. You know what I mean?
Well put,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I've already lived a lot.
Yeah, you have kids or grandkids? Or?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, you're worried about your family, yeah.
Yeah, but I take care of everybody. I'm like,
Cool.
I'm
Good for
like
you.
the parent. You know what I'm saying?
You got a whole community, yeah.
My girlfriend, she's got multiple sclerosis.
Oh, okay.
She told me about this.
God bless you. Okay.
She's sharp.
I'm glad you're here to report and tell her everything. And,
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, the healthcare is important and not having long lines and having access. Yeah.
It's a shame because she you know, doesn't really get a lot of help. She has to
Right.
learn it.
Yeah.
She don't get much help. And she's disabled. I mean, she's disabled as they come. She can't walk. Multiple sclerosis. I mean,
Tough,
the
yeah.
bed,
Yeah.
You know?
Good of you to be there.
Yeah.
You know, be a
I
rock
take
in that
care of-
regard.
I take
Yeah.
care of her,
Yeah. Not everybody would do that.
Oh, it's not easy. If I told you easy, I'd be lying to you. It's tough, but you know what? It's just a good egg.
Yeah. And both of you care. You know, you both care what's happening. You know, politically, you both care, and it's nice to have that. And then,
we're both independents. In other
cool.
words.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. The Democrats left me. I used to be
Right.
I didn't leave them. They left me.
Right. Were you on Team Jackson C announced, or did you keep an open mind early on and just kind of later on support Ciatrelli, or did you always kind of feel like he was the guy?
No, I never really liked him because he didn't back Trump.
Right.
Now all of a sudden he is.
Sure. Yeah. It's been a
I'd rather take the lesser of the evils.
Right. Makes sense. How do you think? Do you see the debate? Do you think Sherill did well at all?
No, I didn't watch the debate.
She didn't do that well. I think that's what I wonder. Yeah.
I do. Keep on it. You guys don't mind?
Sure, absolutely. I think that's one of the reasons the polls have tightened, because he really dodged a lot of questions during the debate. You know, she was very much an empty suit, I think.
Yeah. She was doing, as they say about Kamala Harris, a lot of word salad.
Yeah.
With vinegar and oil in there.
Do you think the scandal with the military cheating situation will make a difference? Up. Yeah.
Sure.
So you think could be a disqualifier?
Because you know what? She's coming across like a wolf in
right.
She's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Well, that's the and she keeps talking about it. So that's her main thing. Is she's a veteran, she serves honorably, and then you don't know how honorably she actually served. Ultimately,
just like anything else, there's good cops and there's bad cops. There's good
right.
judges and
Good
bad
point.
judges.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's good army military people and there's not.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Same thing.
Good point. And what do you think? You think Jack's going to pull it off? The polls have been very close.
Well, he won last time, but we know what happened there. All of a sudden,
it was very close. It's a good
Bergen
point.
County mysteriously flipped overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody's shaking their head as I'm saying that. They know.
I can't help but overhear that. That's very true.
See?
Yeah, very true.
Interesting. Real point in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. So you think there were some neighborhoods to question, and some of them came out very quickly or right after it seems like they were down.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No one
sure.
knows.
But it's interesting to ask questions and analyze
They
it.
discourage you from asking.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm independent, so I'm interested in hearing about. But the mainstream media won't really ask you probably.
I kind of like what Jesse Ventura said.
Yeah, he's cool.
Don't mention the party.
Right.
Pick the person.
Right. Were you Team Jack in the beginning, or do you keep an open mind and look at the campaign and figure out he was the?
Open-minded, sure.
Cool. Okay. And what?
I don't like the fact that he may have won, yet there was some
Right.
deceptive.
So you're still a little discouraged over last time.
That leads me toward him.
Right. We kind of got screwed last time around. Yeah.
Like even the presidential, there was like 13 million votes, and there weren't that many people to vote.
Right,
They
as a
never did any-
discrepancy.
They
Yeah.
never did any questioning. I'm
Yeah.
over here for my brother.
Okay.
Brother's
Interesting.
a DAV.
Oh, cool. It's all thanks for the good work. No, it's just it's interesting to get these opinions too, because I think there's a lot of discouragement over the last election. Joel, I appreciate it too.
No problem.
Thank you.
You know what's
Good to meet
You
you.
know what's really sad now? You look at what happened with Floyd.
Sure.
Everything got destroyed. Here, people went to pray and positive. You see the difference. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's disgusting.
Well, that's another thing about Jack. Do you think he's kind of running an unusually positive campaign in these times? He seems to be not big on division. Seems to be kind of level-headed. Do you think that's the right rhetoric at this point?
I mean, I don't know.
Interesting.
I really don't know. I just know who my loyalties are, and
Sure.
it's not that I love the guy, but
Right.
he's the best choice, and Trump endorsed him because Trump knew that he was going to win New Jersey anyway. So he's no dummy.
Right. No, he has the support.
Yeah, he knew.
He has the support,
I
and
know,
it's awkward for Jack because he has to walk a tightrope too.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, and getting some independents who might not love Trump, but they've seen how disastrous it's been under Murphy, and
The negative side to him, he's not like like Trump.
Super
is,
right.
Yeah,
He's
like-
not super. Well, it'll be
yeah,
interesting to see him in person, see how he is.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, good point. Yeah. I know what you
Well,
mean.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like with somebody like me, I'm
Yeah.
out there. I'm like,
Right.
Like I'm all pumped up.
Yeah, you're
You know,
passionate, and it shows.
Yeah.
And it's engaging to watch too.
Yeah,
So I know
yeah,
what you mean.
yeah.
It's
He's
nice
not-
to have that
yeah.
candidate who kind of.
He's more of like a business. He's a business guy.
Yeah.
But maybe he's good with numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think that's a good selling point for some people.
Yeah,
and
I
what he
know.
needs to win because they think he's more of a classic Republican,
Yeah,
and
I know.
he's
I
sees a
know.
little heaven. Oh, you can no. I'm just walking around.
Okay.
Please sit. Sorry to be in your way.
He fits
No,
the,
no worries.
The classic mold, but
Right. So it might sell well, but I know what
Yeah,
you mean.
you know
It's
what
like
I
it's easier to support a candidate who's fully there. Who,
Yeah.
you can see they're kind of them wearing their heart in their sleeves, and
right.
yeah.
And
I know what you mean.
Like it was so, not an actor that's going to fail you, but an actor like you said that you just know they're genuine about it.
Right.
Right. There's a difference.
Right. But it's funny though. It's him in contrast to Sherill though, because she's so careful.
Yes.
And the nice part about it is like Sherill really. Yeah. Sorry to hog it.
Oh, you did sign it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did sign it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But
Sir, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
But I think Sherill dodged so many questions and was so formal and so careful.
No pun intended with your name, dodge it.
Exactly right. She's using my name a lot.
See that? You're not going to charge it, right?
No, I swear to God, I won't. Definitely not. That's funny.
That's funny.
But
No
yeah,
pun intended.
But yeah, she was so formal and inaccessible. He seems down to earth and like he cares more. So they contrast well quite nicely in terms of him, I think, generating some good momentum.
He's a little more laid back.
By the way, I
Me,
don't know anybody.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean though. And I'm totally not on. It's interesting to cover the New York City mayoral race because Zoran has the passion, and Curtis Sliwa has the passion as well. The Republican running. Now, one of the reasons is because he's loud about what he believes in. He engages people, and it's that energy. It's nice. I know what you mean. It's nice to have that energy.
Yeah.
It really is.
I'm passionate. I got energy, so I like people that are like me.
Right. Sure. Of course. Great minds think alike.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
But like I said, I'm giving him a chance because there's no other opportunity.
Right. So, this or nothing. This or Sherill.
Yeah.
That's it.
That I don't like the way she presents herself. I don't like the way she talks.
Sure.
I don't like it at all. I'm not comfortable with it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And
a lot of questions.
Yeah. And then, like I said, I saw a couple clips of how she spoke when they answer tough questions. She don't want to answer it.
No.
You got it.
And she's not around to answer them.
No.
That's it. Like, as somebody with a YouTube, I could go to Jack's events and they're publicly accessible.
Yep.
Cheryl, you can't. If you want to see her, that's the kind of crazy thing. If you're running an election, you think you want to have public events where people could hear you speak so you win their votes.
Right.
But she's not having, it's all private. It's organized by unions. It's organized by Democratic clubs. It's invite only. And maybe she couldn't get the same amount of people that Jack could get. I don't know, but it's bizarre. There's not a single for not the last month, not in the upcoming month. There's not a single publicly accessible event. Jack has 7.
Accessibility is important.
Yeah. I mean, it reflects on how you'll be as governor. I
And
think.
it's funny, in my whole life, it's the first time I've ever been to one of these. I've never gone to one of these. Never.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
so this
never.
is the first time, huh? Cool. Good for you. What brought you out for the first time? You thought the stakes are high.
My girlfriend told me about it.
Cool.
Because she knows how
Yes,
much.
she's plugged in, yeah.
She told me how. She knows.
Oh, part of it.
She knows how much I'm into it. So
Right, cool.
She said, "Why don't you go?"
Yeah, why not?
And she's disabled, so I got her. I made her food, everything ready. Her aid's gonna come tonight, so I'm in the clear.
Cool. I like it. Good for
Yeah.
you.
But,
Well, you're doing a service for her. You
Yeah,
know? I mean, this
yeah.
is important to go to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's an independent, just like me.
Cool.
And
Cool.
my father.
Think for yourself.
My father, is his birthday. He'd be 98. He died last November.
Oh man,
And-
sorry to hear that.
yeah.
Long life. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. And the funny thing was, my father said to me, he voted Democrat all the time.
Interesting. Is that
He voted
traditionally?
Ronald
Okay.
Reagan.
Reagan Revolution.
Right. Then for Trump, the first time.
Interesting.
He didn't want to vote for Trump, but he wanted Trump to win. But the next time, before he died, he voted for Trump.
Funny, and he had that enthusiasm.
Yeah.
He earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
But it's funny, and that guy never voted Republican ever.
Right.
It tells you something.
Yeah. People are being ignored.
Yeah.
They've relied on that traditional mutual support from the Democratic Party, but now it's just so one-sided.
They took it for
in that regard.
granted.
Yeah.
And a lot of people left them.
Yeah. Here's another question I'm curious. Do you think, speaking of which, of people just traditionally leaving, Do you think a lot of Hispanics in the state are gravitating towards Jack and towards Trump? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you've seen it.
A lot are into religion.
Right. Right. People forget similar values. Yeah.
And they're into money.
Right. Yeah.
But they want to work.
Right.
No, big time.
Right.
Trump
Interesting.
about 50% of the Hispanics.
Yeah. Is that much of a difference?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of them, because they work their asses off to get here, they don't want these people coming here illegally.
Right, right. Well, that's why I'm glad to tell you, because the perception is, you know, and that's not the reality, is that people are more conservative, think all immigrants are evil. Not at all.
No.
If you're protecting the people who have gone through it legally, there's a lot of respect for that. So, and they feel the same way. You know, that's the irony. The Democrats just think because you're the same heritage, you know. But no, you know.
My grandparents, you know, when they came here from Europe, you know, they had to learn English. What do you bring to the country?
Yeah, right.
You know, it's not like that, but you know, you got to make some standards.
Yeah, of course, of course.
They just come. He just invites them in there, Biden. Invites them in there.
It's been
Yeah. And
Jersey's seen it heavy. You know, Elizabeth has seen it heavy with migrant transports. And Newark has seen it heavy. And,
on our tax dollars.
Right.
On the great NGOs.
Well, you know, again, it's like a reason that I think Jack is a smart candidate, because you saw, you know, Sherill wasn't as crazy, but you saw the primaries, like Ross Baraka, the mayor of Newark,
right?
You know, fighting Trump at every turn, you know, getting arrested.
Right.
So, but that's kind of the reality of the people who are still with the Democratic Party. That's kind of the reality of what it is. Zoran, you know, another example. So, you know, that'll be interesting. But I don't think that base is really there for,
They have no,
you know,
no
right,
policy.
right.
Their policies are social. It's everything's social. There is no policy. I mean, how thick can somebody be?
Yeah.
It's a bundle of emotion.
Right. Well put. Yeah, bundle of emotion is the way to put it. Yeah. It is. So no, it'll be interesting to see
He's got to win.
how it all plays out. I think he will. I think it's tightening, because it's tightening right at the right time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like if you're a month away and all of a sudden there's an 8-point swing towards you.
Yeah.
It's just progress, you know.
And we know about polls.
Well, right, and in the state of Jersey, you know, they said Kamala would get 59% of the vote.
Right.
She didn't get close to 50. She got 52% of it. That's a big difference, right? It's enough difference to swing an election.
Sure.
In a big way. And, you know, Murphy barely squeaked by last time. And it was interesting to talk to you, because there were some questions about that, too.
Yeah.
Oh, here's an interesting. Do you feel that this election will be secure?
I don't know, but Dave, you better hire some attorneys.
Yeah. Oh, there's going to be.
That's what Trump did.
Right.
In battleground states, he hired attorneys.
Sure.
He did the same thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does.
Yeah.
Hopefully he
the only
does.
way you can fight about
Sure.
it. But it's not going to discourage you from voting or anything.
No.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. That is an important message too. You know, you have to have somebody watching the efficacy of everything, but it shouldn't discourage you from
that was a good
coming
question
out.
you asked me.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a good question.
Yeah.
We're all worried about it, but I'm hoping he has attorneys.
Yeah, he definitely has a good legal team. He has good support. He has good money in place.
In the areas where it's close.
Right. Well, you know, that's why I mentioned the Hispanic thing. I think he'll really have to. I mean, he has a rally in Elizabeth, which is a very Hispanic area, and I think you really have to look at. All right, is it a percentage of that community that's legal, that's been voting, that it happens to be Hispanic, or is it, or there's some people who shouldn't be voting in that very specific city, which it might, especially if the Republicans are getting momentum with that community. You know, so I'll be watching for like 3 different cities and how they all play out, and how you know, do the vote totals actually match the amount of people registered in that county? There's ways to check it.
That happened in Michigan.
Right.
The 2020 election.
Right. Exactly. Right. So you're playing it right. Exactly. So you know. And so that's the thing. It's like the TV news is not going to do that, but I'll do that. I'll go to these cities. I'll spend today just driving around, seeing, all right, is voting properly, or you know, are people have the right credentials? Are the numbers correct? And I'll try to sign on. Anybody can legally sign up. Actually, it's a good message for anybody watching. I think we got like 200 people watching. If people could sign up to be a poll watcher, so, and you technically you'd be a partisan poll watcher, but you can watch it for Jack, and you can see them actually open the machines, look at the raw numbers, write down, and then there's a discrepancy later. You know, you took a picture of that machine, you wrote it down, and it's a good way to kind of make sure, at least in your community, that everything is on the up and up.
That's what county committee does in Arlington.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, right. So sometimes you got to be elected to county committee as a whole. Thank you guys for the good work. Yeah, you know, it's important, because they'll be trying. Yeah.
That's why I love when Trump he had all his attorneys, all his battleground states.
Right.
They couldn't pull no bullshit.
Right. He was there.
Yeah.
Right.
He was on it.
Right.
He knew.
Right. Yeah. He was 2 steps ahead.
Yeah, and I love it. They try to take away the senators over in Pennsylvania. They kibosh that shit.
Yeah. Good point.
Oh yeah.
So you have to be very vigilant. You have a very watchful eye, but. I think the support is pretty strong here.
That was such a beautiful performance. He won every battleground.
It was shocking, yeah. Well, it was similar too, is also investing in these communities that you didn't think would come out. Like the Amish was a huge thing. They went out big for him.
The silent majority.
Right. Hasn't changed. Same thing since 68.
We got to come out from jail.
Yesterday around Huntington and Somerset counties, and the signs were everywhere.
Interesting. Okay.
Good.
That's a relief.
I saw him in East Orange, Orange, and Bloomfield.
That wouldn't be that you wouldn't think that would be the Republican base at all. That's a good sign. Interesting. Right. Have you seen any Sherills at all, or no? A couple here and there. Right. So.
Two in Bloomfield, one in Orange.
Okay. Orange, you'd expect.
I hate to be judgmental. Her face has the Democrat face on it.
Right.
Because my girlfriend's sister has the Democrat face.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying?
You can tell. Yeah, that's funny.
It's like a prototype.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's funny.
You're 100%.
Yeah.
If you don't like Taylor,
Yeah. But it's so true because my girlfriend's sister, she lives in Maryland, staunch Democrat.
Okay.
And her face actually reminds me of Mickie, whatever her name is.
Well, she looks like the woman running in Virginia too. Spanberger.
Yeah.
They look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah, Abigail Spanberger.
It's almost like
and
they
Mike
cut out from the
Sherill.
same mold.
Yeah, that's funny.
Clones.
Yeah, sure is a good way to put it. Yeah.
I just don't. I don't. Like I said, it's not my cup of tea.
Right. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. But she's not a charismatic, likable person. She's not holding open events.
No.
It's all about reaching more voters.
Yeah.
So you have people on the county committee doing that. But it's all, the base of Sherill is all machine oriented. So it's like trying to get that right specific machine out, and hope that they're but the problem is the members of that machine it's union heavy, and that's your story, associated union classic type Democrat, that's all diminishing.
That's gone. That's it. Like I said, they left us.
Yeah.
And people, they're still stuck in there thinking that they're modern because they're just brainwashed.
Yeah.
They didn't even know it.
So there's going to be a big
they're to the left. They just don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny. Can't make this up.
Yeah. Well, because they're not advantaged economic. They can't rely economically anymore. So then it's like, really, what's the point?
Like on Facebook, I'm friends with some of them, and they put on there. Well, what happened to the middle? I go, they left you.
Yeah. Well, the irony is the definition of the middle as a Democrat is being very pro-corporate and not really fighting for anybody. So it'll be interesting. I think he'll win by 4 or 5 points. That's my guess.
I'm going to say 6.
6? Okay, interesting. So I'm curious. So you've been on the county committee. Thanks for your service. I appreciate it. I'm an independent YouTuber. I'm curious. Why is there such a difference? Like with Sherill, you can't find public events. For Jack, I could look up this event. I could show up. There's not a single one of Sherill. Is there a reason she's not running a transparent, accessible campaign?
She doesn't care. It's about the title. It's not about the job.
Right.
And
she doesn't want to talk to
people.
people.
She wants to do.
Right. She doesn't want to get questioned on that.
Correct.
Interesting.
And he has no problem answering the questions.
Right.
Making himself
right.
accessible.
He'll actually answer questions, right?
It's like Sleepy Joe Biden in the basement. She's just trying to get across the finish line. Same thing.
Well, it's a disservice to people. The whole point of an election is you have town halls, you have events, so people curious can ask you questions and potentially vote for you.
She's got too much buried, and I think like the whole thing with the naval academy.
Right.
You know what? Whatever with that. But then, she was on the.
Please subscribe, guys.
To sign to get your kids in with appropriation, whatever it is. But I mean, if 2 of her kids got it, that's true.
Right.
It's not good.
In sports, right? These Democrats think because they're Democrats, they're wearing the home white uniform, but they can get upset, and this time they're going to go down. Because they're relying on the I'm a Democrat. It's the big thing.
Right.
But something.
Right.
It can only take you so far. they had to learn the hard way when they put Trump back in. They had to learn the hard way.
They got rid of him forever. And that's what the polls said.
And I hate to say this, but if that what's his name, Bagani, New York,
Mamdani,
Bagani, they're gonna have to learn the hard way. I thought they learned after COVID. I guess they haven't learned. I guess they want more
people left. Yeah,
maybe they want more punishment.
Yeah. A lot of people left. But that's interesting too. Curtis Lewa is getting a lot of support.
I hope so. But the only thing is, I hope he doesn't mess up the numbers. Because even though I don't want Cuomo, I don't want him to.
Yeah, no, better than the alternative.
Yeah.
Better than the alternative.
And I don't like Cuomo either. Believe me.
Yeah. Oh, there's Jack. Cool. Well, again, Joel, good meeting you. You're awesome. Thank you.
Saying hello.
Hi, Jack.
Pardon me.
Good evening, everybody. I have a 15-minute speech because nobody really wants to listen to this guy anymore. I'm Al Parlis. I'm the chairman of the Republican Party. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce to you the next governor of the state of New Jersey. Hello, Nutley. Hello, Essex County. Those people outside protesting, how disappointed are they going to be in 28 days? Because I'm going to tell you right here, right now, in 28 days, we're declaring victory. We're winning this race. All right! There are great signs everywhere across the state of New Jersey that we're winning this race. Number one, we're out fundraising my opponent. How about that one? Number two, we've got Democratic elected officials up and down the state.
Sorry. Didn't mean to meet your way. Oh, no, you're good. I'll find a little spot. I could probably film right here. Yes, perfect. Thank you, bro.
Another sign is the desperation on the other side. They're lying about me left and right. When the other side starts lying, it's because they know they're in trouble. The mayors across the state have endorsed me. 6 weeks ago, I was up in Dover, Morris County, the heart of the congressional district for my opponent. Mayor Jim Dodd endorsed me there. He's a Democrat. 4 weeks ago, I was in Garfield, Bergen County, where the mayor there endorsed me. And when he got done endorsing me, he said, "Oh, what the hell? I'm changing my party affiliation to Republican."
Please subscribe.
2 weeks ago, I was up in Bradenton, in Sussex County, where the mayor up there endorsed me. This is the sign. It's affirmation that people across this state have had it. Not just Republicans, independent, unaffiliated, moderate Democrats too. People want change. The last thing they want is another 4 years of Bill Murphy or Murphy 2.0. The most fun we had, though, was back in Dover, because we had that rally where the mayor endorsed me at a cafe restaurant. There were about 200 people there. In walked this woman at the cafe, not realizing what the hell she walked into. When she realized what she had done, she came over to me and she was a little defiant. She said to me, "I want you to know something. Mickie Sherill is my congresswoman. I really like the job she's doing representing me in Washington, D.C. And I said, "Ma'am, that's why I'm here. You vote for me, I'll make sure she stays your congresswoman." There was a pregnant pause, and then she looked up and said, "I think I like you." I said, "That's the whole point. That's the whole point." But there is great energy all up and down the state. What we're going to continue to do over the next 28 days on our way to victory is what we've been doing every single day since the day after the primary, June 11th. We're telling the people of New Jersey who Mickie Sherill really is. She wants you to think she's a Jersey girl. She's no Jersey girl. She wants you to think that she's a centrist, a moderate. Really? This is somebody who supported Joe Biden's open border policy, supported all of his inflationary policies. This is somebody who voted no on the Lincoln Riley Act. Let me see if I get this. You came here illegally, crime number one, and while you're here, you broke the law. Crime number two, we're not going to detain and deport you. She voted no on that bill. She voted yes twice. this mother of 2 daughters to allow biological boys to participate
Nope.
in girls' sports.
Nope.
That's one of those 80-20 issues here in New Jersey. She supports sanctuary cities, us being a sanctuary state. This is somebody who broke federal law on stock trades and stock reporting for a congresswoman, and the New York Times reports was trading defense stocks while sitting on the House Armed Services Committee. This is somebody who endorsed Mondami, the Socialist Democrat of New York, and has endorsed her. This is somebody who voted no on the big, beautiful bill. Let me see if I get this one. You're now allowed to deduct up to $40,000 of your property taxes on your federal tax return. The bill provides a magnificent tax credit for families with small children, child care tax credit. Doesn't tax tips, overtime, or Social Security. Provides a magnificent tax credit for those who send their kids to private school. She voted no on that bill. Here's the problem. It's just like what they did with John Corzine. They brought him here for Illinois. Didn't work out so well. They brought Phil Murphy here from Massachusetts. This hasn't worked out for him so well. She's not from New Jersey. So I got a really simple idea. How about we elect the Jersey guy? Let's elect the Jersey guy. The Ciatrellis have been here for 100 years. 3 generations of Ciatrellis have all achieved their American dream right here in New Jersey, and that's what my candidacy is all about on your behalf. Now fasten your seatbelts, because here's how it goes down for the next 28 days. If you get a flat tire on the way home today, it's President Trump's fault. There's nothing this woman won't blame on President Trump. And then what she's going to do for each of the next 28 days, she's going to remind you every single day that she's a woman. So Al Barless has asked me to remind all of you, I'm a man. I just want you all to know. She's going to tell you she's a mother of 4. I'll tell you I'm a father of 4. She's going to tell you she's an attorney. I'll tell you I'm a CPA and a business owner. She's going to tell you she knows how to run a helicopter. Did you watch the first debate? It's clear. This woman doesn't know a damn thing about running the state of New Jersey. She just doesn't. And so what we're going to do is talk about what we're going to do for the people of New Jersey when we win. On day 1, executive order number 1, no town in this state will be a sanctuary city, and we will not be a sanctuary city. That only encourages illegal immigration and makes the job of our local law enforcement harder. Executive order number 2, we're bringing back to work all of our state workers. Have you tried getting somebody on the phone? Phil Murphy's got them working from home post-pandemic. Try getting somebody on the phone. Try getting your issue resolved. You know what I find embarrassing? You can walk into a DMV office today and walk out an hour later in Florida with your real ID. Call for real ID here in New Jersey. They're giving you an appointment in January. I find that embarrassing. These people work for us. They're coming back to work. Also on day 1, I appoint an attorney general that supports both police and parents here in the state of New Jersey. So let's be more specific about that, because one thing my opponent is short on is specifics, okay? What does that mean exactly? We're getting rid of cashless bail. Cashless bail has created a professional criminal who's learning how to game the system. Talk to your local cops. Arrest, release, repeat is real. Let these men and women in blue do their job and keep our community safe. Also, my Attorney General will support parents. On day 1, policy 5756 goes out the window. Under my administration, no longer will school districts be keeping secrets from parents.
That's right.
It's immoral, it's indecent, it's wrong, it's dangerous. No more keeping secrets from parents. On day 1, we get a whole new state board of education. We'll get the right public school curriculum back in our public schools. We're going to focus on critical life skills like reading, writing, and math, vocational training with an age-appropriate curriculum in our schools. We'll get them back on track. Also on day 1.
All right.
You'll get a whole new energy master plan. I'm never telling you what car you have to buy. We're getting rid of the EV mandate. I'm not telling you how to heat your home. I'm not telling you what appliance you have to buy. There'll be no wind farms off our Jersey shore. But here's the best part of that energy master plan. You ready? At the supermarket, you can have back your plastic bags. Man, you know, I can say I'm going to lower taxes. I get a nice round of applause. I say I'm bringing back the plastic bags. It brings down the house every single time. Every single time. We will lower your monthly electric bill on day one by pulling out a RGGI. The Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative is a carbon tax policy that has failed New Jersey. Air is no cleaner, electricity's through the roof, and $300 to $500 million in ratepayer dollars are going to other states. We keep it right here in New Jersey. I can lower your electricity bill on day one. Here's what my opponents put forth. An illegitimate plan that isn't feasible. She's going to declare a state of emergency on day one and freeze utility rates at an all-time high. We don't want them frozen here. We want them back here.
Yes.
Now, if you want to know how illegitimate her plan is, there are 77 incumbent Democratic legislators in the New Jersey State Legislature. 52 are on the ballot this year. Not one of them has endorsed her plan. And even the governor, a member of her own party, went on TV and was asked about her plan. You know what he said? I don't think you can do that. It's illegal. We've gotten not a serious proposal out of her yet. And yet, look at what it is we're all up against after 8 years of failure. We know what we're up against. So this is why we so desperately need change. Also on day one in my administration, my Attorney General goes before the state Supreme Court with 2 new arguments that are long overdue. We're going to stop the overdevelopment of our suburban communities.
Oh my God!
It's time. And we'll also go before that state Supreme Court with a new argument for school funding. We need a fair school funding formula so we stop getting shortchanged in our suburban communities. And if by chance that Supreme Court doesn't agree with me, guess what your next governor gets to do? 2 new Supreme Court state justices, one of which is the Chief Justice, and now I'm not appointing anybody that doesn't agree with us on these issues. I don't like that. So when people ask me, why are you running for governor? I've already told you Ciatrelli's been here for 100 years. I've already told you that 3 generations of Ciatrelli's have all achieved their American dream. I don't want to be the governor of a state where an overwhelming number of people feel the state's heading the wrong direction. 2 out of 3 are looking to leave. People don't feel confident today, insecure, not fearful about getting the education of their dreams, job of their dreams, raising a family here, starting a business here, retiring here. These are all the things that people feel insecure about today. I would not be asking for your time, your energy, and in some cases that you've written a check, or your money unless I thought my leadership can change the way things are done here in New Jersey. When something I love is broken, I want to fix it. I believe that we can make a difference here in New Jersey and point it in a different direction and make this a state where people want to do all those things once again. We can do this. My grandfather started out integrated here, started out in the ditch as a laborer for the water company, worked his way up, became a very successful independent contractor. That business has been sold by the time my dad was an adult. My dad came late in life, and my parents worked very hard. My mother worked midnights on the line for J&J. My dad worked in the street department for public service gas, but there were 10 years in which they owned a restaurant. My mom worked midnight. She ran the restaurant bar by day. Dad worked by day. He ran the restaurant bar by night. And every dime they made went to their 4 kids. The roof over our head, a meal on the table, clothes on our back, and our education. And they taught us each and every day that we would take care of each other, and we had a responsibility to our community, our state, and our country. Never expect anything in return other than fulfillment of the American promise of opportunity. And then it was up to us to take advantage of that opportunity through hard work. We need to get back to that day. Some of you can identify me. That was a time when you didn't have to worry about your kids walking to the bus stop in the morning. You didn't have to worry about what your kids were learning in school that day, right? And when I grew up, if my parents got a phone call from any of the sisters at St. Anne's, one of my teachers, or the cops, there was this thing at home called the wooden spoon. One time my mother broke it on my brother and I was giggling. She went down, got another one, took it out on me. I was working the boardwalk this summer and there was a guy walking along with a t-shirt that said, "I survived the wooden spoon." I went and got that vote. I went and got that vote. To my mother's credit, 4'11", not 100 pounds on a good day. My sister was a saint. My 2 brothers and I, the woman never once said, "Wait till your father gets home." You could hear the drawer open in the kitchen. And out she came running. It was magnificent. And to this day, my parents inspired me. We got to get back to that day. And so we got to make this happen. We're going to finish strong over the next 28 days, and we're going to win this race.
Definitely.
We're going to win this race. Back in 2021, when I came, how close did I come? How close did I come?
3 points.
I'm still in
It was
therapy.
rigged.
Just kidding. I said that the other day in town hall, and the woman sitting in the front row looked at me and said, I'm so sorry. Just kidding. Men never say I'm sorry. It's always the women that say I'm sorry. We came out close to 21 with the wind in our face. That night, with me at the top of the ballot, we had our most successful night in 34 years. We flipped 134 seats at municipal county level, went in places we hadn't won in decades, 200 Board of Education seats, and 8 seats in the state legislature. I think I was the only guy that lost that night. We got wind at our back this time around.
That's
And I'm
right.
telling you here and now, with that wind at our back, we could flip 13 seats in the state legislature. When we do that, guess what? We get to 41. What's 41? For the first time in 25 years, a Republican majority in our state legislature. Let's get this done. Let's get it done. And so I'm excited as we go around the state. People can feel the energy. I only have 2021 to compare this to when I really thought we were going to win. But this time the energy is off the charts and it's all across the state. But we do have to finish strong, right?
Yes.
Championship teams finish strong, right? So there's a couple things I want you to know about me. First of all, you already know how fortunate we've been because of our hard work as business owners in this state. But the point I'm trying to make with the utmost humility is, I don't need the job. I've already had some of the best titles one could have. Son, brother, husband, father. One day soon, where's my daughter? Grandfather? One day soon. It's coming, I feel it. Anyway, those are the best titles. But I don't need the job, but make no mistake, on your behalf, on our behalf, I want this job. Leadership matters. Let's fix the state that we all love. I want you to love it too. Number 2, I'm not owned by any special interests. There are some very powerful special interests out there that own Phil Murphy, that own my opponent, and they're out there lying each and every day because they know we're going to win this thing. But I'm not owned by any special interests. Once your governor's owned, they're compromised. And once they're compromised, they can't get it done. But the third thing I want you to know is what's most important to me. Unlike governors on both sides of the aisle over the last 40 years, every one of them on both sides of the aisle has used this position to try to get to Washington, D.C. I've been asked to run for Congress. Answer has been, always will be no. I've been asked to run for U.S. Senate. Answer has been, always will be no. Okay? Al Barlos has not asked me to run for president, but the answer is no. And I don't want to write a book. I just want to write the ship. So you don't have to worry about me losing my focus. My only ambition left in life is to fix the state that we all love. When this is all over, I'm going to the beach in Surf City. Okay? That's where you can find me. But you don't have to worry about me getting distracted. All right then, we've got time for a few questions. Yes, sir.
First question you brought up in regards to the sanctuary cities. You got places like Kearney that are overrun, the Ironbound in Newark, Union City, North Fargo. Are you going to capitulate with Tom Holman and allow ICE to come in and conduct whatever?
So the question is regarding illegal immigration. I support the president. He has secured the border. Illegal crossings are down 98%. I support the president and everybody who's here illegally that has a history of criminality has to go back. I support the president in that anyone who came here illegally and has committed a crime or has been scamming our governmental assistance programs has to go back. Unless, if you were violated by someone who was here illegally, and we deport them to a nation that's not an ally, doesn't observe the rule of law, and doesn't incarcerate them upon return, was justice served? In those cases, we need to incarcerate because justice needs to be served. Listen, we're going to keep our communities safe here in New Jersey. I appoint the Attorney General. I appoint the 21 county prosecutors. You may not know this, but your local police chief does not report to the mayor. Your local police chief has a dotted line to the mayor. Your local police chief reports to your county prosecutors, and the 21 county prosecutors report to the Attorney General. I appoint 21 county prosecutors. I appoint the Attorney General. They'll be on the same page with me, and we will have safe communities in New Jersey once again, I promise.
Thank you, Jack. And please, everyone, please share his response with all your friends, neighbors, etc.
Like the one that we're not raising the sales tax?
Yes, 100%. Exactly.
It's a big lie.
Thank you.
It's a big lie. We said that now what I found astonishing at the first debate is when the moderator said, Mr. Ciatrelli, your opponent says you're raising the sales tax. to 10%. We commented this, I said it's a blatant lie. She knows it. We're not raising the sales tax. With a new school funding formula, we'll lower the property tax, and I will downsize our state government to afford a tax cut for individuals and businesses on the income tax side. And then they turned to her and said, what's your position on sales tax? And she said, I'm not going to commit myself to anything. So this is what I get. He gets a lie about me, but over here, you're not going to commit yourself to anything. Pretty typical. I think the translation of that is, I'm going to raise taxes. Her translation, right? And she says, I'm not going to commit myself to anything. So, yeah, don't believe the lies. Yes, sir.
The tolls, you gonna lower them?
We're going to do what? Listen, the cost of living has gone up in New Jersey across the board in all respects. We're looking to get everything down that we possibly can. We're trying to make New Jersey more affordable. That comes to taxes, it comes to your utility bills, specifically electricity, it comes to housing, and for families with very small kids, childcare. Childcare doesn't get enough attention these days. How much childcare costs? We need to fix that too. Yes, ma'am. Hold on. You had your question. Let's be polite.
I have two questions. I am not a fan of Murphy. I have no problem saying that. However, he is offering the 50% rebate of our taxes. This is the highest cap in the entire country. So we are looking forward to
On the property tax.
$6,500.
Right.
As the governor,
I support the continuance of that. There's only one aspect of it I do not support. You can get that rebate up to making $500,000 a year. I think that's a bit too generous. So for those who are making $500,000 a year, God bless you, but I'm gonna take that money and send it other places.
Okay, but the problem I have with that is there's a clause in there that says as long as the budget allows. Is that clause still gonna be there by you?
Well, they made that law, so I have to live by that law.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we need to work out the budget.
Yes.
The second thing is
Let me say one thing about their rebate programs.
Okay.
I find it insulting. Now, the money they're sending you through the rebate, where did they get that money? They are famous for taking money out of your right-hand pocket, putting some of it back in your left-hand pocket, giving it a fancy name, and then sending it about 6 weeks before the election. It's a manipulation.
Oh, I know, I get that. But at the end of the day, right, the governor really has no control of the property tax. It does fall back on the mayor.
Not true.
I hope to God you're right, but I've been through all this.
Well, let me say this. The mayors catch all the shit for property taxes. But if you look at your property tax bill, it has three portions. The least expensive is the municipal tax. The second least expensive is the county tax. And then anywhere from 50 to 70% is your school tax. And the reason why your school tax is so high is because your community is getting screwed when it's their share of state aid to your schools. The more state aid your school district gets, the less it has to tax. Your tax is high because it gets very little state aid. And so what we need is a new school funding formula. So your governor does have control over some of your property tax.
I did watch your election last night, and you were winning all the way till 11 o'clock. However,
I was your governor for 5 hours and 43 minutes.
however, when everybody went to sleep, Newark, Camden, Patterson, Trenton.
Let me ask you something.
What are
Did you go to
doing-
sleep?
What are you doing with those four towns?
Did you go to sleep?
I did.
I told you to take a nap in the afternoon and stay up all night. You're the reason why we lost.
I was down York every day.
So let me tell you what happened so you can rest assured that it wasn't stolen in 21.
No, I want to know how much money you're pouring into these four towns, because these four towns dictate how the rest of us live.
Do you ever see how hard I worked to win this election? Why would I not dot every I and cross every T to ensure victory?
Well, Jack.
Now, since you brought it,
Amy will be here for like a half hour.
21. Okay? Back in 2021, when this was the law, the county clerks were not allowed to start scanning the vote by mail ballots until after 8 o'clock, which is when the polls close. Guess what happens when the polls close? All the results start coming in from municipalities. What the clerk made the mistake of doing at 10:30 at night in Bergen, Essex County, is putting up the vote count. I beat Phil Murphy on election day in person on the machine voting. They put up the vote count and they said 100% reporting. It was 100% of the in-person voting on election day. It hadn't counted the VBMs yet. You went to bed with me ahead. Guess what they started doing after you went to bed? They started scanning the VBMs. And then when you layered the VBM vote count on top of the in-person vote count, I beat him by 250,000 in-person voting. He beat me by 300,000 through the mail. So when you woke up in the morning, what looked like a 10,000 vote victory in Bergen County was a 10,000 vote loss. Here's the law change they made. And there's something else I want you to know to put you at ease. The VBMs can now start getting counted at 6 o'clock at night on election day. So come 10:30, it's a true 100% reporting. Yes. Here's the other thing that you need to know. That every single one of our counties has a board of elections. And on the board of elections sits an equal number of Republicans and Democrats whose job it is to oversee the counting of the votes. So, I didn't concede for 11 days in 2021 because it was that close. While we're waiting for all the votes to be counted, including all the provisional ballots, we looked into every purported allegation of fraud. Guys, no system is perfect. When 3 million votes are cast, are there 5 or 10,000 fraudulent votes? Maybe, but I'm telling you that fraud is not what cost me the election in 21. You want to know what cost me the election? The 700,000 Republicans who stayed home because they didn't think I could win. Guess what the election did? It was so close, it's now an eye-opening experience. Ciatrelli was right, we can win, and they're coming out this time, we're going to win this race.
Sherill.
Don't jinx me.
Following up on the tolls question. The Port Authority of New York and New Jersey is a bi-state agency. Governors Cuomo, Hochul, Governor Murphy. Governor Murphy's been extremely quiet, so has his predecessors. There's a lot of waste going on in there. I've seen how aviation's direct expense budget was only half of their total expense budget because of all the indirect charges that the agency is doing. What are your plans for controlling the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey?
So first let me say, if I could wave my magic wand, this would take an act of Congress, and I am going to ask our congressional delegation, both U.S. senators and all 12 House members, to begin this dialogue. If I could wave my magic wand, the Port Authority going forward would only consist of the bridges and tunnels that touch both states. New York can have LaGuardia and JFK. I want the Port Elizabeth, and I want Newark Airport, which are the two jewels in the crown that produce all the revenue. I'm going to try like hell to accomplish that. That's going to be a long shot. It needs an act of Congress, but I'm going to try to accomplish that. The other thing is, nothing gets done at the Port Authority unless I approve the monthly minutes. And I'm not approving a single monthly minutes unless we get our way with the Port Authority. Okay, we're going to stop getting short end of the stick. Okay? We're going to stop getting short end of the stick in a number of ways with New York. They go ahead with that congestion pricing plan. That's an egregious money grab on the backs of New Jerseyans. I got 400,000, we have 400,000 New Jerseyans that pay no income tax to us here. If you work in Manhattan, you pay your income tax to New York. That's our tax agreement with New York. You know what our tax agreement in Pennsylvania is? You pay your income tax where you live. We get the short end of the stick on both sides of the two rivers. The point I'm trying to make is, you're paying income tax in New York if you're one of 400,000. Did you buy a cup of coffee or bagel or lunch? Did you buy dinner if you worked late? How many of us go see a Broadway play? Do you know what we do for Manhattan in terms of economics? And now they're going to try and fix their subway system on our back. So here's how it goes down. They go ahead with that plan. Any New York plate that comes through the tunnels or over the bridge in the morning to New Jersey, congestion pricing fee, and I'll fix New Jersey trains. And while we're at it, let me get one more thing off my chest. I'm landing in Newark Airport recently, coming back from a campaign trip, and the little screen in front of me that you watch the movie on, as I'm landing in Newark, it says, "Welcome to New York." So I wonder, when you land at JFK, does it say "Welcome to New York"? So I'm going to have a little fun with you. We're going to win, and I'm going to get sworn in, and then I'm going to go up to my desk in the executive branch, and the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to call the CEO of United Airlines. And I'm going to remind him that he's a tenant of ours at the Port Authority. We're the landlord, you know what that means. And you better change that thing. When you land in New Jersey, it'll say "Welcome to New Jersey." I'm not going to take your pension. I'm not going to take your pension. They're lying. So this is with regard to teaching. So first of all, it was never supposed to be a transgenerational plan, the way Social Security works, right? So when we retire, who's paying for our Social Security? Today's workers. The pension trust was never supposed to be like that. So, but having said that, we have a labor shortage in law enforcement and in teaching. People are not going in. I have to make sure the compensation program is compelling. Compensation program is comprised of 3 parts: salary, health benefits, and pension. And we're not making any changes. We need more people to go into it. But don't believe the teachers. I think it's shameful that an educational institution like NJEA would lie to its members that I'm taking away their pay, which first of all is illegal. Okay? So it's a big lie. Don't you believe it? And the new ones are coming in, but I'll make the pension. But you know, while the state was making the full pension payment for the last 5 years, guess what they were not doing? Not funding the state healthcare plan, which is on the verge of collapse now. So you have cops, you have teachers, and state workers who are getting a 2, 3, 4% increase in pay and going home with less take-home pay because of the employee contribution portion of the healthcare, which is going through the roof. The family plan just went from $52,000 to $69,000. That's a $17,000 increase. If you as an employee responsible for 1/3 of the cost of healthcare, you just lost another $6,000 in your net pay. So even when you get a 2 or 3, 4% increase, you're going home with less take-home pay. You don't pay the bills with gross pay. You pay the bills with net pay. So I got to fix the state healthcare plan. But don't listen to the teachers.
But then the teachers that are retired will still get their health insurance.
Absolutely. Yes, that was the deal that was made. That was the deal that was made. But we got to get people to go into law enforcement and teaching it.
76, you can't go back.
No, you're not going back. Not going back. But what I would really like to do, and I understand the woman, I'm not going to discontinue Anchor, not going to discontinue Stay, not going to discontinue Freeze, but I like programs that are simple. The challenge with those property tax rebates is you still have to pay the increase in your property tax. And then you got to go down to town hall, fill out the application, wait 18 months to get your rebate. How about if we just freeze your property taxes once you hit age 70? And the close will go up. We make all the time in tax-free New Jersey the way it is in Pennsylvania. Right? How about if you don't reassess your home when you do a home improvement, right? How about if we make the first 2 years out of high school, the first 2 years out of college tax-free so young people get a start here? How about if we cap property taxes at 1% of the assessed value of the home for the first 5 years of home ownership so young people get a start here, right? These are all the things that we could do to make New Jersey more affordable. Yes, sir. With a beard.
I actually emailed your campaign about this, and I'm sure it was a staff that answered back.
Those damn staffers.
But the answer was fine, but I know you pride yourself on giving direct answers
I do.
to questions, so.
It's pork roll.
To piggyback
It's
on
pork roll.
Oh.
Taylor Hammer, North Jersey. Tomorrow I'm in Salem County on pork roll.
So, as we were just saying about the health benefits, I live here in town, I'm also a police officer here in town, and my wife both in public service, she's a teacher. So, with what you're saying is 100% true. In January, we are having a third child, and now I'm losing an extra $525 a month out of my pay.
Wait, I want you to understand what you just said. $525 a month. Multiply that times 12. Okay, you're looking at close to, it's more than $6,000 of net pay he just lost. Net pay.
Right. So my question is, how do you plan on fixing that? And are you gonna stick to the same formula with Chapter 78 in terms of police specifically paying a portion of the premium? Or are you gonna set it to a defined contribution amount?
No, here's what I've said. The state health care plan is broken because of the employer. Now, whether you know it or not, whether it's it is the state health care plan, but many municipalities are in the plan, many school districts are in the plan, many county governments are in the plan, along with all the state workers and the teachers, right? And so if the employer, the state of New Jersey, screwed up the plan so badly that we now have this unbelievable spike, I have to reform Chapter 78 because you're not going home with less take-home pay. I think it's unfair to screw you because the state screwed up. So I have pledged to reform Chapter 78, so you cannot go home with less take-home pay than the year before. Sir, the best dressed guy in the house. If I'd known, I would have worn my tie.
Mr. Ciatrelli, my name is David Bianame. I am with Mount State News Lab. There's been a rise in unemployment.
Are you a student there or an employee there?
I'm a student there.
Yeah, my son graduated from Montclair.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm currently a senior, so there's been a rise in unemployment, not just in New Jersey, but nationally for postgraduate college students. What is your plan for tackling this issue in New Jersey specifically to ensure that not only jobs are created, but sustainable in the long term?
So New Jersey is known as one of the worst places in the country to do business. Why? Our business tax is now the highest in the nation, 11.5. While the Democratic governor of Pennsylvania was lowering the business tax from 10 to 5% because he competes with Ohio, whose business tax is 0. They were lowering the business tax in Pennsylvania from 10 to 5%, 1% a year over a 5-year period. The Democrats in Trenton raised ours from 9 to 11.5. We're also known as one of the most regulatory intensive states in the country. Big businesses also, small business too, getting concerned about the labor pool. You hear about people not being able to find new employees. That's because young people are finding greener pastures elsewhere. There's a dirty little secret about New Jersey. We graduate not a bad job, our K through 12 students, even though I want to get back to that, okay? But those that go out of state to college, New Jersey leads the nation in the fewest kids that come back. That's why I want to make the first 2 years out of high school, the first 2 years at college tax-free, kind of incentivize you to come back and have housing for young people as well. But we need a labor pool. The other thing we got to do is get our electric bills under control. Because what businesses are looking at today are taxes, regulations, labor pool, and energy. And we're starting to suck wind in all 4. I'm determined to make New Jersey a better place to do business. I think that we can do that without screwing the consumer, resident, or doing irreparable harm to the environment. We make New Jersey one of the best places in the country to do business. We will grow the economy. That means more good paying jobs. People will live where they believe they can achieve their American dream. So if you believe you get the job of your dreams here or start a business here, you're more inclined to be here. And these are some of the things that we need to do so we don't go through what we're going through right now. That's what it's all about.
I own a townhouse, and I've been looking to buy a house, but the houses are so expensive in New Jersey. Is there anything that you could do to lower the house pricing? So we have an affordability crisis in New Jersey because we face the highest overall tax burden in the country, right? And we also have an affordability crisis because of the cost of housing, now electricity, and also because of childcare. When it comes to housing, we do need more affordable housing. We just have to be very, very smart about where we put it. We've got to change the economics of affordable housing. So we shouldn't be overdeveloping suburbs, suburban communities, no mass transit, no infrastructure, no jobs, only putting cars on the road. I like towns that have mass transit, bus lines, and train lines. There's jobs in the town, so people either have a very short commute or can walk to work, right? Downtown areas are famous for this kind of thing. And so we need more affordable housing. And I'm going to work on that. There's a shortage across the state for 200,000 for veterans, disabled people, seniors, and young people. And I want to say something else about all the housing that has gone up around New Jersey over the last 10 to 15 years. I think I mentioned this before. They're all rental units. Okay, in this country, you build equity with home ownership. You build wealth with business ownership. We want young people to have a skin in the game and build some equity. So we need to build more affordable housing in the right places, not in suburban community where there aren't those things that support high density housing, and give them a lease to purchase option so they can own the place, so they can start building some equity, right? I think we're doing the next generation a real disservice for all this. But we need more affordable housing across the state of New Jersey. The reason why real estate is so high is because there's limited demand. You talk to any realtor today, and the first thing they'll say is there's not enough inventory. When they say that, that means there's not enough houses for sale. So you have more people looking for a house than you do people, right? The houses that are available. What does that do to the price? So how do you get the price of something down? Build more of it. But I want to be smart about where we put it. And I'll go one step further on this. We got to get people to want to live in our major urban centers again. Our suburbs are beautiful, but they're not the engines of economic growth. Vibrant cities are. Vibrant cities. I got to get people to want to live in Newark again, in places like Trenton again, in places like Atlantic City again. How do you do that? Affordable housing, safe communities, good educational choices, and it will happen. Take a look at where Atlantic City and Las Vegas both were 50 years ago. Take a look at where Vegas is today, and look at where Atlantic City is today. It's sad. It's sad. I think we got time for one or two more. Yes,
Jack, I got a question.
Right here. Uh-oh. It always worries me when somebody reads a question from the phone.
Is it putting out some funding for the New Jersey Commission on Cancer Research to help advance life-saving discoveries and ensure New Jersey remains a leader in cancer research and care?
So the question is, will you dedicate more money to cancer research? So we have a very, very densely populated state with a very, very high cancer rate, right? And what we now have is something we didn't have before. We've got our major universities that are tied to large academic settings, right? So we have Robert Wood Johnson as part of, in Rutgers, right, or part of the medical school in the South. We got Cooper. So we have these large institutions now that can do the clinical research to get to the bottom of these things. So the answer is yes. But it's also the job of the governor to make sure that our congressional delegation, 2 U.S. senators and 12 House members, work together to bring more money back to New Jersey. New Jersey is a donor state. What does that mean? If you add up all the federal income tax dollars that we send to Washington, it's way more than we get back. We've been a donor state for decades. That means we've been subsidizing other states for decades. We want more of that money back. And one form in which it should come back is medical research. Yes, ma'am.
Coming in, we heard the rally about Medicaid and the cuts that are coming down. As a parent of a special needs child, we're hearing the threats. Your DSPs are going to be cut, your budgets are cutting, the amount of day programs you don't have. What guarantee are you giving that those adult children are going to be protected?
So this will be the last question before we have to go and do this exact same thing in Hudson County. Her question was specific to the talk of Medicaid cuts, right? Talk of Medicaid cuts, and also the are we going to take care of our most vulnerable population, those with intellectual disabilities and physical disabilities? The first job of any governor is to provide for the public health and safety. I promise you that no vulnerable population is going to be underserved in New Jersey under Governor Ciatrelli. Somehow, some way, we will make sure they're taken care of. I promise you that. Second thing is, with these Medicaid cuts that the other side is making a big deal out of, okay? There's been 2 reforms in the big, beautiful bill that don't necessarily cut Medicaid. Here's what they do. Now, you all know what Medicaid is, right? Health care for the poor. And it's paid for the rest of us. And we are our brothers and sisters' keeper. But here's what the president has done. The first thing he has done is said that if you're on Medicaid, you need to prove your eligibility twice a year. You need to verify your eligibility twice a year. Who put that rule in place? President Barack Obama. He made you verify your eligibility twice a year. The 45th president, Donald Trump, kept it there. Joe Biden, the 46th, put it to once a year. Trump is putting it back to twice a year. I think that's fair. The other thing that Trump did is put something else in the bill. If you are able-bodied and your children are 15 years of age or older, to continue on your Medicaid, you got to provide 20 hours a week of volunteerism, education, or work to continue on your Medicaid. I think that's fair. Why is he doing that? It's not to be mean. It's because billions are being wasted on people who are scamming the system. So what measures do you put in to stop the scamming of the system? And the rhetoric I'm hearing from the left, including my opponent on this, reminds me of when Bill Clinton, do you remember when Bill Clinton signed into law the change that brought welfare to workfare? What was the far left saying then? This is terrible. People will be homeless. They'll be in the streets. People are going to die. Guess what? None of that happened. You got the last question? Thank you.
My name is Evan Lee. I was advisor to President Reagan in 1988 and 1989. I was one of the architects for the Americans with Disabilities Act. And my question is, I'm going to Washington next week to revamp the ADA laws. You have a question? What are you going to do?
I'm going to support you 100%. That's what I'm going to do. Thank you for your courage. Hey, that law now is heavily old. It's a couple of decades old. And like anything else, it needs to be revisited to make sure that it's meeting the needs. Oh, I don't want it. Come on up here, Bob. So the other day I'm at a breakfast set. Wait, no, come here, Bob. I'm going to give you that last question because I don't want to get in trouble with the good Lord. I was at I'll tell a story, but it's a little bit of a forewarning. So I was the keynote speaker at an event recently, and the pastor gets up before me to do the invocation. He gets up and he says, New Jersey, that humble valley between the two great mountains of New York and Philadelphia. And so when he came back to the table, I said, hey, Father, with all due respect, the valleys, I want to be a mountain. When I'm governor of New Jersey, it's going to be a mountain.
School choice. You will understand Catholic schools are struggling mightily to keep our schools going, which benefit everyone, even the taxpayers. I understand that you're in favor of a program similar to Florida's, so voucher program. Voucher program. So that is going to be a big win for all of us. Thank you so much.
I think this particular issue reveals the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party. And I don't say that, I'm not a mean-spirited person, I'm not a hyper-partisan, I am a proud Republican, but I'm not rigid in my ideology, and I'm not an ideologue. But this reveals the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party. Who has school choice? Who has school choice? People with money. People with money can pull their kids out of public school and send them to where? Private school. Who doesn't have school choice? People without money. And yet when you look across the state of New Jersey where schools are failing families the most, they're in areas where people cannot afford to send their kids to private school. And yet my opponent and her party will not provide a voucher program like they have in Florida, will not provide charter schools, will not expand the interdistrict program to provide families with school choice. It's one of the biggest hypocrisies out there. The Democrats will always want you to believe that they're the party of the disadvantaged. They're the party of the marginalized. They're the party of the minorities. And yet, what do? Year over year over year, they really do nothing to help those communities. And so under Governor Ciatrelli, if a school system is failing you and your child, you'll have a choice here in the state of New Jersey, I promise you that. All right, now it's time for the call to action. Are you ready? You know what I'm going to do over the next 28 days. 8 stops a day, 4 counties a day, North, Central, South, and Jersey Shore. Yes, there is a Central Jersey. I live in it. I don't want to hear shit about it. Central Jersey. 564 towns, 21 counties, and all 600 diners. I hit them every day. It's usually a bowl of soup and a BLT on toasted rye. I got my waistline to worry about. Okay? You know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out there and tell people what we're going to do when we win this election and point out that my opponent's no Jersey girl, and she's certainly no centrist. She's more of the same. She's Murphy 2.0. Here's what you need to do. Each and every one of you has a sphere of influence. No one bigger than yours, Father. Don't ever underestimate the power of the personal testimonial. In your neighborhood, in your places of work without getting in trouble, in your houses of worship, in your social networks, tell people what's at stake. You're never going to hear me say that this is the most important election of our lifetime. I think it's kind of old and tired, and by the way, I think every election is equally important for different reasons, but I will say this, the future of our state hangs in the balance. I've been here within 2 months, 64 years. I never remember it being this bad. Okay? And I'm an optimist. I never remember it being this bad. We need to win this election and chart a different course for New Jersey. Do your part, I do my part, and let's declare victory in 28 years. Guys,
I gotta try to go outside and meet Amy. Give me a moment.
let's get it done. Thank you all.
All right, guys, that's the way it was.
How you feel about everything? You like the speech?
Yeah, but he my plastic bags, he addressed it.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I missed the plastic bag part.
Oh, the plastic bags. He said that when he mentioned it, everybody was cheering. He goes, yeah, every time I mention this plastic bag, that's when I get the biggest.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I hate it because I walk around a lot, so it screws you. Screws you if you walk around. You can't do it. But you liked his remarks? You thought solidify? Yeah, very good. Very down to earth. Very accessible. All right, guys. I'm gonna try to find Amy. Please do subscribe. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to stop by the New Jersey governor debate in 2 days on the way to D.C. I can interview some people in the process. It's a very crowded room. Maybe we can get in. I'm going to try to exit so I can meet her and also sign off. But I will probably be 2 days in New Brunswick in 2 days, asking people, both supporters of Sherill and supporters of Ciatrelli, what they thought of the debate. So stay tuned for that in 2 days for some post-debate on-the-ground coverage. And then the day after that, I'll be interviewing people outside Congress as Hillary Clinton testifies about Epstein. So that should be very interesting. Please subscribe. I'll kill myself. I will. Not kidding. All right. Bye, guys. Please subscribe. All right. Love you.
I'm not studying for like the next 10 days.